This is Jeanneau's Leader 9.0, a European-designed walk-around console with a standard hardtop, raised foredeck, and surprisingly spacious accommodations. With versatile features and a strong value proposition, these functional Jeanneaus are growing in popularity, prompting us to take a closer look. Extended swim platforms allow access from either side, but the aft walkthrough is to port. There is a step forward the engines to assist in traversing from one side to the other. A stainless gate opens inward for safety, and we find a handy cooler under a hatch just aft. The cockpit on the Leader 9 is extraordinary. With the benches stowed, there's plenty of room to move around, but you can deploy 3 of them to add a ton of extra seating. And you can lower the table, add a filler cushion, and have a gigantic sun pad back here. There is a compartment under the aft bench, but it's not really big enough for weekend excursions. Since the engines are hanging off the transom, the hatch below the table flips up on gas struts to reveal a huge storage compartment below deck. Just an awesome amount of storage when you don't have a stern drive back here. Just another advantage to outboards. The EVA foam is a nice option. It is more comfortable than teak and dries far more quickly than carpet. Moving forward, we find a small fridge under the helm seats, perfectly located for entertaining. Just left of the cabin door is a mini galley with a small sink and stove under a flip-up counter. The hardtop and wraparound windshield provide plenty of protection. And one thing I really like is you'll find stainless handrails everywhere on this boat. So when it gets a little rough, you're always going to have something to hang on to. Now, this is a full console boat with asymmetrical side decks, and port is a little bit wider than starboard. And you've got huge handholds with this hardtop to come around, so even if it's a bit bumpy, shouldn't be any problem getting forward. Now, this raised level foredeck really shows how the Leader 9.0 is all about leisure time. So you can fill the entire foredeck with filler cushions and have a massive sun pad up here, but underneath is non-skid, so if you want to do a little bit of fishing, it's still not a problem. Forward, we find a large anchor locker with optional windlass and remote. 30-foot console boats typically focus on the cockpit above decks, but below decks, the Leader really shines. I mean, this is an enormous salon with 2 berths and a full standing head with separate shower. And not only does it have the head and the 2 berths, but wraparound hull-side windows give you an incredible view and bring in plenty of light down below. Forward, we find a V-shaped dinette with seating for 5 that will also convert to a berth. With the stove in the cockpit, the station below is more suited to food prep, with a Corian countertop and sink cover. A second fridge is located below with a small microwave above. Frosted sliding panels reveal more storage behind the counter, nicely accented with LEDs. Somehow, Jeanneau managed to fit a large double berth under the cockpit. There are storage cubbies and compartments, but some share space with tanks and hoses. Cutout steps minimize any of that cave-like feeling, allowing plenty of light in, but sacrifice privacy without curtains. Power ranges from 3 to 500 horsepower, and this Leader 9 has a pair of 200 Yamahas in the back. I'll tell you what, does it ever come out of the hole? On top, we're getting about 45 miles an hour, and in these conditions, that is plenty fast. And the helm is beautifully appointed. We have a great Garmin touchscreen GPS system, and I just love the soft touch materials you find on Jeanneau. I'm also very impressed with the ergonomics of this boat. The helm has a pair of buckets with flip-up bolsters, so it's easy to sit 2 people side by side. Now, if you're worried about too much heat coming from the hardtop, well, there is a wonderful sunroof that lets even more air in. For me, this is probably just a fantastic cottage boat for someone who's running longer day excursions. You can certainly stay overnight comfortably, 2 people, possibly even 4. But the real magic for me is taking 5, 6, 7, even 8 people out for the day. You've got a huge sun pad on the foredeck, you've got a very versatile lounge seating in the cockpit, and a very comfortable ride should the conditions pick up. And with a little custom canvas, you can completely button down the cockpit.